What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to our Raging Cajuns Dynasty. Um, we're a pretty solid team. We kind of disappointed ourselves last year. I mean, I hope we could check our schedule real quick. I don't know if it lets you. Does not, but we had some disappointing losses to teams that I feel like we should have definitely beat. But going into this year, we got a senior quarterback in Eli Holstein. He's been here for a while. Looks like a great player. Doesn't have the mental attributes that we're looking for, but it's not a problem. And we have Daryl Flint, who's coming in hopefully next year to become our new starting quarterback, who looks like an absolute beast. Running backs, we got 95 overall, and we're kind of a little lackluster after that. So that's a little bit of a worry. But wide receivers, also a little lackluster, but we're young. We have two good freshmen, and we have another freshman down there. So we'll definitely have to recruit some wide receivers, but for now, it's not a bad worry. Tight ends are great. Left tackle, offensive line is pretty decently young. So that's kind of the theme of this team right now is that we're just an incredibly young team. We're either senior starting or straight up freshmen. Um, got two good sophomore D tackles here and a junior D tackle, so got some good players there. Sophomore middle linebackers an 84, which is awesome. Definitely a lot of good players on this team, though. Um, Nothing really more to do. We just checked our team. Let me advance to next week. We didn't have any transfers or people that we had to encourage to transfer out. We were straight up 85 overall team. We'll just look through this roster real quick. We got a freshman quarterback who's also coming in, so we're gonna have him and Flint, which is a great duo. Solid running back right there. Wide receiver core. I am gonna redshirt a lot of these guys. I'd rather roll with our already our wide receivers. Um, Bram, however you pronounce it, Clausen and Thompson. I mean, like, it's not a good receiving core, but we're not going to improve by just throwing in a 79 and a 76. We have a lot of people to redshirt. I'm going to redshirt everyone I possibly can, and then we'll get to our recruiting. So our board is set up. We have 8 total prospects. Not a lot of amazing people, but we aren't able to really get anyone amazing because we are such a low-level program currently. It's time to customize our schedules, though. Enough with the recruiting. I don't know really the way I want to go with this team yet. I do not think we're good enough to face some top 25 teams in the country as of now. So I think I'm going to stick with giving us some easy wins, like a game like Akron. Definitely removing UCF. That's a little bit too much of a challenge for us. No other zero-star teams. We'll just look through quickly, find someone who else is pretty bad. It's not looking like anyone blurs on a 75. We'll go Air Force. Why not? We'll keep FCS South East, and instead of Kansas State, I'm going to try and see if I could find any four-star programs that might be ranked high that aren't actually good. Like a USC is a good matchup. Duke's a solid matchup. Oklahoma State's a good matchup. Let's see if there's definitely no 2 stars. But we'll go with Duke. A top 20 team in the country. So that's one of our tests to see if we're actually a real program. But let's definitely have all these games be home as well. Try to build up our stadium prestige. But yeah, I think that's our schedule. Let's advance to next week. We are into next week. We got some recruiting to do. Like usual, we're going to send the house and really spend some points on all of these 4 stars and every single player on our board. That is one of the best ways to recruit in this game is basically you just get a smaller board and try and go as heavy as you possibly can to go get those recruits. And since we're already number 1 on a lot of these guys' lists, this should be somewhat easy. If we get every single one of these guys, we're going to be on pace to have a very good recruiting class once again. Our last 2 guys we're going to have to make a decision on. It's 2 D tackles who we both low-key do not need, but we do have a pipeline in Louisiana, so I'm going to go after Denbo, and Sermon. You know what? We'll remove 10 from Denbo, and then we'll throw 10 on Sermon. I believe we're going to get Denbo. But, yeah, that's how we're going to recruit for now. I'm hoping these 4, or, yeah, those 4 guys are getting the most points start to commit pretty soon. Hopefully next week we're going to be able to get some interest check marks and be able to really recruit them. But, yeah, I think that's all we have for now. Nothing week 0. Let's advance to next week. Obviously, no loss in week 0. We have 30 points to upgrade our coach. I don't know if we're going to be able to really spend any of this. We already are elite recruiter. We're spending a little bit on tactician, which is probably a good move. Um, just gives us some ratings boost for all of our players. Let's continue with that type of spending spree. Um, let's get some running back rating boosts. This just basically helps your players play a little bit better, so your overall is going to be even higher. So spent a little bit on tactician, which is a great. We got some more recruiting to do. Akron is 1-0, so Akron might not be as bad as we're thinking, but we're not into this guy's top 5 yet. We have all 3 check marks easy on Barry Rawls. So let's quickly go do this. Boom and boom. Barry Rawls should commit very soon. We might have to guess for Devin. I don't know if we're going to be able to. I don't know if we have enough interest locked out. And we do not. Too many. I'm not going to take any chances to get these guys. I just want to make sure we get them. We'll see quickly if I could hard sell him as well. I don't believe I'm going to be able to. No. All right. We have to wait a week on Clay. Corey, we don't have anything. Warren, we actually can, which is good to know. So that would be right here. Deontay Warren, we should be able to get. I have enough points to also give him a little bit more. Give him up to 65 with contact friends and family. What works? Denbo, I think we are able to get as well, which is sick. He's going to be a big pipeline boost, so getting people in Louisiana where there is already amazing football is going to be even easier if we get Denbo. Not search social media. DM the player, keep learning more about him. But yeah, we are moving pretty well right now. We got our first game of the season going against Akron. Let's get the sim. Pretty expected. We did beat Akron. We were 1-0, A- championship contender, which is actually very impressive for a team like us. Let's see what type of score we put up. Beat the crap out of them, 31-6. I think our quarterback probably had a pretty good game. Not really. I don't really know what happened, but we did just beat up on Akron, which is awesome to see. Let's get to recruiting. I should be in everyone's top 5 by now. Hopefully know all their interest points as well. We'll start off with Denson. I'm going to do this for everyone. I'm not going to show you guys this because it's time consuming, but you guys know what I'm doing by now. I'll get to you guys after I'm done. No more recruiting to go, so we're going to advance a week here. We get our first commit, Deontay Warren, no one else. But that's going to allow us to spend more points on Sermon, who we actually are in low-key in a battle for. Central Michigan offered him a scholarship, so yeah, start spending some points if we want to get him. We got Air Force this week. That should be a win. I'm going to move Warren up, and I'm going to spend the rest of our recruiting points. You know what we're doing by now. And yeah, we are done with recruiting. Let's advance against Air Force. This is a must-win game. Timmy Denson, a first 4-star, 2 4-star free safeties, a 4-star wide receiver, 4-star right end, 3-star defensive tackle, Denbo. Great week. We have Phoenix still who are hoping to commit, and that should happen within next week. We lose to Air Force, though. Oh, that's a bad look. I'm not going to lie. That is a bad look. How bad? 42-28, and it wasn't even close. Really bad look by us. Air Force is not a team that should be beating us. We definitely do not have what it takes to beat a Duke, but I mean, not happy about that whatsoever. It's an embarrassing loss. We got a bunch of recruits that week that kind of helps out a bit, but losing to a team like Air Force is something that should never happen. We have Phoenix about to commit, and Sermon's probably going to need another week. I'm not going to schedule a visit because I just believe he is going to commit. Central Michigan's really battling if they're trying to get into his top 3, but we got some prospects I'm going to need to add. So I'm going to get to some more recruiting, and then I'll see you guys after this. We advance past this week. Let's advance past this week. We need to be an FCS team. That would be such a bad loss. Phoenix commits next week. Hopefully Sermon also commits, which is what we're expecting. Come on. Thank you. Oh my gosh. A loss to an FCS team would have literally been the end of the season. We still are in a solid spot because we're playing. Okay, we killed them too. We're in a solid spot because we're playing some really bad teams like Marshall, JMU. Our conference is already as bad as it gets, so there isn't a lot of worries. But, you know, there is still not a lot of confidence in our building right now because we are losing to bad teams as well. The conference doesn't look good. South Alabama, who beat us last year, um, they're looking pretty solid. But I mean, we're in a solid spot. We can't be losing these easy games. We got some more recruiting, it seems. We have 100 points to spend. I filled out a board a little bit. We're going to get Carmen, hopefully, to get full points on him. And then we'll try and split up some points with Addison and Iverson right here. Try and hopefully get them both to commit. That would be the most ideal situation possible. Give a little more to Addison. None of these guys have scholarships besides us. So he's going to commit this week, which is going to allow us to spend even more points on these guys. But we got a few more weeks before we start getting to their top fives. Already a solid recruiting class, probably one of the top ones in our conference right now. I forgot where whoa. Weirdly enough, number 2 recruiting class so far in the country. So we're doing solid because we're committing so many people so quickly. No 5 stars. We're not going to be able to get into that room yet. But we're doing pretty solid. We got to advance against Marshall. Hopefully this is a win. Get us to a good record. Sermon does commit. That is awesome. We reached top 5 of 3 of these more prospects. Hopefully we start to get commits all of them. It looks like we did win, and we did. 3-1, B+ championship contender. We are a little bit back. Hopefully that was a big win. Marshall is a competitive team in our conference, and we did beat them pretty decently. South Alabama is not looking amazing either. So honestly, we are in a great spot to push for a conference championship. Still, even with that embarrassing loss to start the season. A lot is going on. Let's see. I'm not going to be able to guess that. Top 5. I might be able to guess his. Let's see if I can hard sell him. I'm going to spend the rest of our recruiting points, and I'll get to you guys when we're about to sim. It's time to sim. We tried to hard sell as much people as we possibly could. This week's going to open up a lot, but it's only going to help if we get a win here. 4-1 would be an amazing record. And that's exactly what we are. A- championship contender. That is amazing. 320 coach XP. We are looking great. Eli Holstein, Sunbelt Offensive Player of the Week. 4-1's a great sight. We are playing Duke, who's 2-4. So our tough game is against a team that now sucks. Ruben Apple, we have the hard sell on. We're going to be able to hard sell J.R. Boutte. He's a true Louisiana guy right there. We got the hard sell on him. It's perfect. Going to be able to get him hopefully this week. We have that. Going to be able to hard sell this dude as well. And then our 2 right tackles at the bottom of the board are not going to be possible to hard sell because we're not in their top 5 yet. Or at least we are in the top 5, but they haven't locked it in yet. So, Cam Carmen, going to be able to get him, hopefully. Our class is still looking very, very good. Probably nowhere near anymore. It's still top 8. That's good. Georgia has 5 5-stars already committed. That is absolutely disgusting. 2 5-star quarterbacks. How is that fair? I don't even want to think about that right now. We have Duke. This is not a must-win because it's not inter-conference play, but it would be a huge, huge victory. Quincy Tribble just committed. Does that mean we won? I have no idea. It does mean we won. We are 5-1 now. Ranked number 24 in the country. Eli Holstein had a very, very good game. That is honestly a pretty solid win for us. Advancing to 5-1 after that embarrassment of a start is very, very good. Looks like Ruben might actually commit pretty soon. That is exactly what we want to see. We have the right motivation on him. Good on him. Good on him. Good on him. Addison, hopefully we can honestly guess this. I'm not sure if we will be able to, but maybe we can. Let's check quickly. It's either that one. I think it's this one. Cool. Iverson, we can't guess yet. Gotta remove this 10. We'll send the house at him, and we'll add one more recruit. We'll be able to spend a decent amount of points on them. Not too much. Any 4-stars available. A quarterback. We honestly don't really need one. I'd rather go after a 3-star instead. A cornerback is a solid fit. An athlete is always something I want a little bit more, though. Athletes are the best thing to get in this game because you kind of can move them anywhere you want. We'll throw 35 at him, though. Hopefully we get him. It's time to play Texas State. Let's advance next week. Ruben Apple just committed. Khalid Aikman, 2 commits right there. Is awesome. 6-1. We were 15th in the country. That jumped us up way, way up there. That's kind of insane. We have a chance to even make playoffs, which is pretty ridiculous to think about after losing to Air Force. Hopefully, JR is about to commit. Cam's about to commit. These two aren't very close, but we could start getting a hard sell on Iverson, and hopefully that'll speed up the process just a little bit faster. Let's see if we're going to be able to guess this one. And I believe we will. It's going to be right here. Jason Iverson, we're going to be able to guess that one. We have a lot of points to spend, so I'm going to go after more 3 stars. Try and finish the class, and then I'll get to you guys on what we're going to send. We added 2 more athletes. We have Troy now. We need this win. Let's keep advancing, jumping up this record or rankings. JR commits. Cam commits. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, we lost. Dang, man. Our overall dropped pretty significantly. I'm wondering if we had an injury that week. That would make a lot of sense if we did. Let's see. Our running back got hurt. Elijah Davis. 4 weeks is a big-time injury for him. Honestly, that doesn't make me too angry anymore about losing. When you lose your star player, it's kind of expected. We are still looking solid in conference. I mean, Southern Miss and Arkansas State are 2 teams I think we are definitely better than. We're playing Southern Miss right now, so hopefully that win could pop us right back up to being number 1 in the division. Titus Agnew, someone we really kind of want. Why? I honestly don't know, but if Utah wants him, then he's obviously a pretty good player. I don't know if those even correlate with one another, but I'm going to assume they do. We could hard sell Jason Witt. That's good. We got a hard sell off on him. Iverson and Addison. We might see Iverson commit this week. Definitely not Addison, though. 125. I'm honestly going to try and speed up this process by scheduling some actually, it's week 12. That's a little too late. Yeah, that's a little too late in the season. I guess we'll throw on 2 more recruits, and then we'll get to the sim. We added 2 more recruits. Big game against Southern Miss. A win here kind of locks us in for a conference chip, which would be absolutely amazing. Jason Iverson commits. That is great to see. We lose. Dang, man. Probably not going to be able to make conference chip anymore with that loss. That is pretty costly. We have some recruiting to do. Let's see who we're looking at. Dang, I thought we had a chance there. We were looking good. We were looking good. Addison's going to commit this week. Johnny went. Hopefully commits pretty soon. We are able to hard sell Philip Amanfu. We have a 20 deep class, so I kind of am about to stall here because I don't like having too deep of a recruiting class because then you're going to have to cut a lot of people that you just recruited a year prior, and I want to let my team develop, so I'm not going to be doing something like that. So after I get these guys, I am done recruiting for the year until it comes to transfers. Transfers I'll always bring in. That's just immediate talent, especially if you're a team like us who does not have that immediate talent already at our disposal. Those 3 should commit pretty soon. We should be able to get a hard sell-off on Josh Orlando. Or not hard sell, but send the house. And 80 recruiting points going right at him, which is a lot. So hopefully these 2 are going to be able to commit as well pretty soon. But our focus is on getting these 4. We already have a pretty solid recruiting class. Ranked number 8 in the country, which is kind of insane for a Sun Belt team. We're battling with real good teams, but losing those 2 last games is very, very costly. To advance the next week, hopefully a win against South Alabama really props us in for a winning season. So let's see. No commits, and we beat South Alabama. Great. That's exactly what I needed to see. We have Louisiana Monroe here. They're 2-8, 0-6 in conference. That's got to be a win, honestly. Roy is about to commit. Johnny Needs probably another week. I can't schedule a visit with him either. No one could actually be scheduled to visit with. We no longer need to send the house at you. I'm going to be able to hard sell, I think. Yeah, that's going to work. We got a hard sell off on Johnny Orlando. Going to be able to also get it off on Devin. So we'll see if right here, perfect. Devin Claiborne and Josh Orlando both are going to be able to hard sell. Nothing really else to do. We just got to wait for these guys to commit. Hopefully win a few more games. I don't know if we even have a chance. We don't. Arkansas State's looking pretty good, and we have that head-to-head loss to Southern Miss. Unfortunate, man. We had a pretty good record. Let's hopefully get a win here. Roy just committed. Phillip just committed. That is all we got. We're not really losing any recruits this year, which is great to see. We are 8-3 now. B+ championship contender. We are just about to be ranked, which is pretty crazy for how the season has gone. I don't think we were really that amazing of a team. 8-3 is super average. We could really ruin Arkansas State here. Wouldn't really do us much of a benefit because Southern Miss, unless Southern Miss, if Southern Miss loses in Arkansas State, we beat, then we have a chance. So that's what the hope is. We'll see. It's time to advance past this week. Johnny Wint commits. Titus Egnew commits. Awesome, awesome. We stole him from Utah, which is crazy. Claiborne and that other corner about to commit. It does not look like we won. Dang it. Let's see how the conference ended up. Southern Miss also lost. Texas State jumped them. Honestly, that winning against Arkansas State would have done it all for us, but unfortunate. Let's see how we looked. So that loss against Troy, lost by 7, got killed by Southern Miss, and barely lost to Arkansas State. Dang it. We had a chance this year, but 3 interconference losses plus that out-of-conference loss kind of ruins all chances you got. We're going to have a bowl game. Let's advance to that. Devin Claiborne committed and Josh Orlando committed. That's the rest of our recruiting class. I might make some moves coming next week when it comes to championship, conference championship, as I don't know if I'm going to be keeping all of our staff members. We didn't really impress me too much. They are both recruiters, so that is something I kind of like. So it's I'll give them one more season. Let's get to this bowl game. No reason to move on from them already. Christopher Vizina wins Heisman after a ridiculous season at Clemson. That's impressive. We do get a bowl game going against UAB, who's number 25 in the country. That is a good bowl game for us. I guess we could view job offers, but I am not leaving. Wow, those are some insane job offers. OC at Notre Dame, Texas, Washington, Florida State, that is insane. Some people very, very much want us. These are all job downgrades, because I guess I'm going from head coach to a offensive coordinator role, but I think that's kind of a job upgrade. But we got a big game here. Let's hopefully beat UAB and ruin their ranks. We lost, sadly, mid season for us. 8-5 is not something you like to see. We'll have to sim. Pretty disappointing season, to be honest with you. What was the chip? Florida beats Kansas State. Interesting setup there. Florida wins a chip. We had a pretty disappointing season for being a pretty veteran-led team. I guess in some ways, Eli Holstein was not who I thought he was. I thought he'd been a way, way better player. Good thing we have Flint still. He has no experience, which is kind of worrying, but hopefully he impresses. Our running back was also like pretty dang good, but those injuries kind of ruined his season. He would have been a much better player, but he only played 9 games and still was that good. So, I mean, it would have been more impressive. I thought we would have been a little bit better of a team, but we were not. I think the lack of wide receivers is pretty disappointing for us. But let's advance to next week so we could see who we have to convince to stay. It is time for players leaving. Hopefully not too many transfers. Just one. It is a running back, Steven Blanco. I honestly don't think we need him because I think we have another running back. I think we have a running back already, but we'll see if we can. We can't. That is all right, honestly. We have a running back going round 2. Our quarterback is not getting drafted. Makes sense. I didn't think he was good. It doesn't even say he's graduating. Oh, right here he is. Yeah, I mean, I didn't think he was that good. Um, but Elijah Davis, who I think is actually a very, very good player, is leaving. He's getting drafted, which is all right. Next week is transfer portal time, so that's really when we have to go to work. See, hopefully, if some big time transfers want to come here. Right, transfer portal time, 4-star halfback. That is what I wanted to see. We have another solid halfback, a good right tackle. Gosh, a lot of people want to come to my school. Wow. This is pretty sick. I'm not even gonna lie, this is pretty awesome. Um, let's sort by 4 stars. I mean, might as well at this point if we have 3 that want to come in. Could we get into the top? Any of these guys open? I don't believe you would be, and they are not. Any 3 stars, like maybe a wide receiver or something. Safety, linebacker, all good. Cornerback, why not? Actually, I kind of want to stay young. So if I'm going to bring these guys in, I kind of make sure they're all young, which they are so far. Jaleel, we won't bring in. Brian, why not? Should we have D tackles? I don't really need them. Outside linebacker, sure. Any other young dudes? It's not looking like it. And these guys wide receivers. Also not really looking like it. All right, so no receivers really want to come here. Doesn't look like any of you guys are open as well. They are not. So we have 26 total targets, added 6 there. Getting these guys would be a pretty big boost to this team just immediately. So let me get to recruiting. I'm going to spend as much I could possibly can on them. We'll see who I can get. Quickly before we advance, let's just quickly check draft results, see where he went, and he did go 2nd round. That's honestly an impressive draft pick for us. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's advance to next week, though. I'm expecting a lot of these guys to commit next week. We'll see if we can hard sell some of them to really seal in that deal, but I think we're going to see a lot of commits coming in. Like James Shaffring should be committed by next week at the most, honestly. We have a lot of points to spend, so let me get to spending. James Shaffring commits. Angelo Hernandez commits. Joshua Duggins commits. Josh Boodle commits. Deion Holbrook commits. We are just waiting on one guy who left and went to LSU. That stinks, but honestly, losing one guy out of the 5 is not a big deal. We are done with those recruits. Let's send to National Signing Day. We got some position changes to go through. Let's see who we should change up. I don't think there's anyone who really needs to be, but we'll quickly look through quarterbacks. Hopefully Flint becomes something this year. That is a prayer. Gallimore right there looks pretty good. Wide receivers, we got a lot of depth here, but I want to keep it like that. 2 for 3 freshmen right there is great. Tight ends, that's all good. Offensive line, it's not looking like we have too much talent there, to be honest, but let's move right tackle to center. And then I see that we have a lot of centers because some of these players I didn't move. So, and they all stink, to be honest with you. We'll move you to left tackle, Eric. Newcomb will move. Whoa, it's not Newcomb. Roberto Newcomb will move to right tackle. And then Cam Fries will move to left guard. Awesome. They all became good just because of that. Bond. We'll keep him at center. Mencusco. Whoa. Yeah, you'll be a D end, to be honest. You are much better there. Chestnut, I think you're going to go to right guard. Yep, that's exactly what you're going to do. All right, so let's look there now. Pretty solid offensive line with all those young guys. Some tight ends. Kakaka. Could you play anywhere else? No, you're a pretty bad player. Cookus, I think you're staying at tight end anyways. That's exactly where you're staying. Even though you look tiny. Are you tiny? No, you're a pretty big dude. All right. All good there. I see a quarterback, Chuck Crispin. He looks like a good player. I'm not going to lie. Give him a year and he's going to be a very, very good player. Let's look at D ends. Briggs, let's move you to left end real quick. Awesome. Got good players there. Even though tackles are solid. Outside linebackers are pretty solid. Corners. Hey, could any of you guys play corner? No, you guys are super slow. All right. Safeties, I'm gonna be honest, do not look good at all. We look like a pretty bad team, to be honest with you, but hopefully that isn't gonna have too much of an effect on us. That's all we can do. That's gonna be it for today's video. I can't do any more position changes, but thank y'all for watching, and peace.